Read.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments.
Just be upright, according to his law, not according to the nation's cultures out there. Read.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
If you don't listen, God's people, Israel, a curse will come upon you. Let's get a few.
I'll just jump down to verse 27. The Lord will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emerods, and with the scab, and with the itch, whereof thou canst not be healed.
It's talking about sores and incurable illnesses. Illnesses that's placed on us by the nations. Okay, you wonder why you're sick and all that? Why you're getting disease? Well, it was shot in you by the nations from birth. Vaccines. The fact that they would shoot diseases in you and have you sick all the time. That's a curse. We were the strongest people at one point. Come on.
Verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness.
That's talking about what? Mental health issues. See that? And blindness. That's talking about physical blindness also. It's also speaking of, because they've diseased us, when we get to a certain age, we get what? Glaucoma and all that. Brothers and sisters, I've been amongst other nations around the world. These diseases we're seeing rampant amongst our people, it's not like that with other people. I see grown people 80 and 90 years old and 70 years old of other nations. They out there partying, they're running around and all that. You look out your window, they're healthy, they're strong, they're running down the street, they're jogging. Read it.
The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. Verse 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways.
And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. You want to know why we can't, what they call economically, get out of our situation? And I hear all these people selling pipe dreams with this economic empowerment stuff they're talking. Okay? You will not prosper. It's almost impossible. And one of the reasons that it's impossible as a curse, 9 times out of 10, if you try to do something, it'll be your own people taking it from you. And I resolved that with, okay, that's part of the curse. Mm-hmm. They'll go into the Gentiles' work, right? And won't take nothing, no idea, nothing from the boss they're working for. And don't say, well, let me set up my own business the same way, sideways, since I learned everything. No, you'll be totally obedient to your boss. But if you're amongst your people and your people have an idea, you'll just take it. That's a curse. Now, I'm not blaming nobody for it. The reason for that is because why? We don't really have a God or laws to enforce righteousness amongst us. We went away from those. Okay? So it's understood. We're not blaming no one here. It's understood. This is what happens to a people that are lawless and have left the law, statutes, and commandments of their fathers. Right? Come on.
And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore.
You shall be oppressed and spoiled forevermore. See? Now, if I go into a room with some brothers, no matter who they are, whether or not they're dealing with Africanism or whatever the case is, and pull this out and ask the question, does this sound like us? Do this sound like us? Everyone in the room would have to answer, because that's what the debates and the arguments are about. They would have to say, well, yes, that sounds like what we're trying to overcome. But like, well, okay, let me show you these people of this curse and how to get back everything that belongs to you. Okay? Because the same God that said this would happen to us gave us a chief cornerstone. That if we follow this, that foundation would lead to everything, our building, our land. It would also lead to the judgment of the nations who are oppressing us. The Most High put the oppression on us through disobedience. He will take it off of us through obedience. And of course, the last verse is the slave ship. Read 64. Read the 64th verse.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 64.
Listen to this.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
So a curse, instead of us having our own land, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, Simeon, on and on and on, Zebulun. It says the Lord would do what?
The Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
You will be scattered amongst all people. So by being scattered, you lose what? Your identity. So I'm like, okay, the Most High scattered his people. There is a law or some understanding that we would get during the awakening on how to gather these people who are cursed and scattered. The people he was actually talking to, we can get them. This is our purpose. We'll undo the curse. This is our purpose. Not just talking about the condition and letting everyone see just talk about what everyone can see anyway. Look at our condition. Everyone can see our condition. That's all we want to talk about. And some people love to have the condition there. That gives them purpose to financially benefit from our plight. They don't want to see us out of it because what platform do they have to speak from anymore? They can't talk about the issues if the issues are solved, right?
Right.
So now the Most High showed me in a curse. I read it. We were scattered. Okay, my brothers and sisters are somewhere. The Most High's people are somewhere. They're cursed due to a curse of their forefathers, because curses are generational. If you don't believe me, look at what happens today. Look what happens when a child is born from a cursed relationship, or a relationship where the mother is on crack or the father. It's generational, right? Well, we are a product of lawlessness. We are a product of lawlessness. So it became generational, inherent.